Hello, listeners, and welcome to Footballers Anonymous. I'm Carson, and I'm a 2-4 Cardinals fan. Ooh.
I was not even going to say the Cardsaholic after that performance.
No.
I think his addiction is starting to wear off.
That's what happens when you go to Green Bay, I guess. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a Billsaholic. We bounced back. It was a good game. It was against a green team, too, except we didn't get blown out.
It was a good game. But we'll talk about it later.
It was all right.
And I'm Ian, and I'm a 4-2 Bearsaholic. It feels so real.
Okay, so while I recover from my Cardinals hangover, we're just gonna roll the intro or something, I guess. Hello, and welcome to Footballers Anonymous, coming off of a crazy week 6 in the NFL.
First, I want to clarify that was not really a crazy week 6. The week 6 was kind of boring, and the game slate was terrible.
Dude, don't tell them that. We're about to talk about it for an hour.
I was gonna say, I feel like we call it every week crazy or some adjective.
Well,
or
we
some
have
synonym
to.
of the word.
Listen, just pretend like it's crazy. I got you.
Fine, guys, it was a crazy... It was a very, very midweek, but we are about to make it crazy for you.
It's crazy. Yeah. My week was pretty good. It wasn't the game itself wasn't the best necessarily, but we had some nice moves. Yeah, we had a real nice move.
What kind of move?
It was a trade.
There were a lot of trades this week. To start us off, we had the Bills trading for Amari Cooper. Maybe he can do something now that he has a quarterback that doesn't. That I'm just gonna say that's good. I'm not gonna go there.
Correct.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
This is something we've been saying with the Bills. We've heard multiple times. They need a wide receiver one. They don't have a wide receiver one. They need a guy to pull the defense to one side and create opportunities for other receivers. That's exactly what Amari Cooper's going to do. He's coming in there. I think he's coming in there to be a buffer wide receiver one and to help mentor these younger guys on the Bills roster.
That's probably what's going to end up happening. He's on a 1-year contract, but he's on a cheap contract comparatively to Adams too. Like it's not necessarily like cheap, but like it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. And hey, speaking of Davante Adams, guess who just went over to the Jets? It's Davante Adams.
What?
No one in their right mind is surprised. We all knew that he was going to the Jets. There was a video online, like Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee podcast, and Davante Adams was already at his house. Like he knew he was going to the Jets. He probably was living
sleepover.
He was probably living there the past 2 weeks. Like he was like, "Yeah, you're trading me to the Jets, right?" And Vegas was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders just gonna get stuck in a rebuild phase, but I mean, it's probably for the better. Although, if I understand correctly, they're still paying Davante a lot of money. But
hey, now the next move that has to happen is Max Crosby. He's got to get out of there now.
Max Crosby, Cardinal. The rumors are true, guys. No, they're not. But it will happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Who needs an edge rusher that's a good team? Or who could use a Max Crosby? I mean, anyone can use a Max Crosby.
Listen.
We could.
Listen. A team that needs an edge rusher right now, because theirs just had a horrible injury. The Detroit Lions losing Aiden Hutchinson in a horrible fashion.
Honestly,
I mean, I guess
if they went and got Max Crosby, that'd be insane. Not only for this season to be in the Aiden Hutchinson role, but next season if they had Hutchinson and Max Crosby on the sides. Oof.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Hutchinson though. He was having a guaranteed defensive player of the year season, and it just got just wiped off the board.
It's unfortunate because they got shafted in a game where they were messing with Dallas. I mean, they were like They were not taking them seriously whatsoever. They had multiple plays to offensive linemen or offensive linemen were running routes or they're trying to throw to them even. They were not taking them seriously. They had a couple hook and ladders as well. 47-9. I wouldn't take them seriously either, but dang.
I don't think anyone was taking them seriously, even before the game started, and now, whew, absolutely not. Just
Yeah, but America's team, right?
humiliated. No,
Yeah,
I
they're
can't even
definitely
make that joke. They're just not.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
pretend like
obviously.
they are. They just
No, I'm not.
aren't. I think you just were. Are you a Cowboys fan? Is that what you've been trying to tell us this whole time?
See, and I don't have them next to me. But if I was a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't have gotten Washington Commanders Tostitos at the store.
Yeah, man did get Washington Commanders Tostitos at the store, which was
See, okay,
kind of weird.
here, let me preface this. I did an online order from Walmart, right? I wanted some Tostitos and I wanted some queso dip. I got the queso dip. That was all fine. When they loaded it in my car, I'm looking at the Tostitos and I see the Washington Commanders logo on it. I'm not going to send it back. It's still Tostitos. They're good. They're good Tostitos. I had some today, but they have the Commanders logo on it. So,
Speaking of chips, we have someone who can't seem to make a chip shot in the Packers kicker. The Packers just signed a new kicker, guys. This is about the only thing that was going wrong for them on Sunday. And it's it's Brandon McManus. It's freaking Brandon McManus.
out of all kickers in free agency, out of all the kickers, they chose Brandon McManus.
What are you doing, guys? For some context, Brandon McManus is also not the most consensual person, allegedly, but the Packers don't seem to care. They just need someone who can kick field goals.
Cam Akers is going back to Minnesota after his very short stint there. He went back to Houston, and they just decided they didn't want him anymore. So I don't know. I don't know why they really traded him. I know why Minnesota wanted him.
Jones.
Aaron Jones. Thank you, Aaron Jones.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of out with
Source here, guys.
He's out with an injury right now. They needed someone that knew the system. Cam Akers was there last season, not for very long, but he knows the system. So they're trading him there. And I guess the Texans don't necessarily need him because they have Joe Mixon and then they also have Dameon Pierce in the backfield. Both of them are better than Cam Akers, and both of them are great running backs in general. So I guess the trade makes sense from both sides of things. But it was definitely an interesting move. Not something I expected. And it was also like the least eventful trade of the three today, but
Speaking of the Texans too, D'Amico Ryans is claiming that Jordan Love is going to be the best quarterback that the Texans will face.
I hate that
Why?
man.
Why? That's all I have to say.
Wait, what?
I wouldn't think that you'd look at the play he had versus the Rams and how he played versus the Vikings and say that he's the best quarterback they've faced this year. But
Yeah.
disrespectful to Josh Allen, disrespectful to Caleb Williams, disrespectful to Drake May. No, okay, not disrespectful to Drake May, but Drake made it look good, but that's
He did.
completely off topic.
He did. He threw a dive.
He threw a couple dots actually. Two of his touchdowns were actually pretty good throws down the field, especially the first one.
Yeah,
His
it's good
first
stuff.
touchdown was a long one. Anyway, yeah, that's not the point. Speaking of long ongoing jokes, Nick Sirianni is talking back still. This time he beats the 1-4 Browns, and he's talking back to his own fans after he barely beats basically the worst team in the league.
Seems like something he loves to do. He seems to just love to talk crap to his fans. He does it a lot, actually.
And other fans.
Well, they all hate him back, so I mean, clearly they've got some sort of relationship going on here.
I don't want to hear anything anymore, Chiefs fans. See ya. Speaking of Philadelphia, because sometimes it gets a little breezy there. Drew Brees is going to get to the Saints Hall of Fame on Thursday Night Football versus the Denver Broncos in their Orange Crush defense.
Alex, the Orange Crush defense is dead. You literally forgot to post this week. You failed.
You don't.
The Fanta won. You could
don't
not
understand.
withstand the double Fanta madness.
You haven't seen the post yet.
And
It's
no,
not
I
ready.
don't think you understand.
Why would we have not seen it if you already missed the week?
You already
Well,
missed a
not
week.
you don't understand.
Consistency
That's
is
for later.
key.
That's for later. It's for later.
So putting an
No.
end to our stupid segues, because I can't take the cringe anymore, we're gonna
Wait,
go
we're
right
ending
into Alex. You have a comment of the week for us.
Oh, I do. I do. You're right. You knew that all along. So did I. Um, so I actually like our comment of the week. It's on YouTube this time. It's a little bit different than the last couple. And I think this is a fun one because it's a direct shot at Ian. For those who don't know, he played flag football. The comment of the week is that Ian needs to change that picture. What picture he's referring to, I don't know. But Ian, change that picture. We all know you dropped that ball.
Okay.
So let's hear about it. What ball did you drop in
One,
your football game?
it's flag football intramurals. Okay. Two, he's talking about the picture in the intro, which is from when I played high school football. Okay. And three, he has no clue what he's talking about. Yeah. And by the way, in 5 games, I had 15 catches, 300-ish yards, 3 touchdowns. So I don't know, man.
Dang.
Speaking of that stat line of the week goes to Calvin Ridley. Okay.
Okay.
He had 8 targets,
Okay.
Oh,
0 catches.
oh,
Nice.
And after the game, he said he needed more targets early in the game to get him going. You got all the targets you need, buddy.
no,
Buddy.
it's okay. I think maybe he would have caught one. He might have been 1 for 16.
But he didn't, and he wasn't. So
No.
congratulations, Calvin Ridley. Go back to gambling or whatever it is that you did.
Go back to gambling.
Let's go gambling. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
Speaking of gambling, um,
You don't have anything, do you?
You don't have anything.
All right, so hey guys,
Atlanta. Oh wait, speaking of Calvin Ridley,
oh you
Atlanta's
you
the
you
site for Super Bowl
fail.
28.
That's see.
Not Super Bowl 28, 2028 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 62. My fault. Speaking of failures, the Raiders, Tom Brady
I thought you were about
is
to say
now
me.
you too, but
Oh,
partial
okay.
owner of the Raiders is Tom Brady over here.
What was it? 5%.
That weird. Yeah, no, he finally got approved. They had their meeting, and now he's a part-time owner of the Raiders. And all the Raiders fans in the comment sections were like, "We need you at quarterback, bro. What are you doing?"
Yeah, you know what that really means.
What?
Tom Brady can no longer play quarterback. He can't come back.
Yes.
It's over.
He's
Tom Brady's
gone.
gone.
I wish Patrick Mahomes would go and own a team so that he can't play anymore.
You know who I wish would go and own a team?
Who?
A mascot. But you know what the mascots have failed to do? What every single mascot has failed to do?
What? What is it, Carson?
Appear on our show. We
That's great.
here at Footballers Anonymous have been reaching out to every single organization, even the ones without mascots, every single week to try to get one of their mascots to guest star on our show. And we have continuously been denied or ignored, but we will not rest until we get there. But we need your support. You
don't
need to
sleep.
reach. What?
We don't sleep. We haven't slept since the podcast started because we don't rest until the mascots get on our podcast.
Oh no, I was sleeping on Sunday just like the rest of my team.
All right, but you failed.
No, they did. So we need your guys' help. If you have a favorite mascot, you need to reach out right now. We'll even wait. Have you done it yet?
Did you do it yet?
Lock in.
Lock in, guys.
Come on, we're waiting for you. We'll wait.
Okay, and while you do that, we're going to keep explaining the rest of it. So, yes, we want a mascot on the podcast, but we are willing to award the first one to appear the greatest mascot award by Footballers Anonymous. That is an extremely prestigious award. It is up there with the top Will Levis Meme of the Week award. It's that level. Okay? Also, download our podcast, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We need to get big to get the attention of these mascots because they're very busy and very important people. More important
I
than the
want
players
you.
themselves.
Not more important than the refs, so
I
No.
want you to reach out to your mascot.
that's
Exactly.
like an Instagram post to me. Congratulations, Alex. You just earned your paycheck.
Yes, sir.
Wait, we get paid?
Feed my family now. I don't have.
I assumed you guys got paid.
Oh, dang.
Are we just all broke?
I guess so.
Oh, cool.
I mean, we're in college, so like.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what's on a paycheck?
What's
Numbers.
on a paycheck, Alex?
You know what else has numbers? Power rankings.
Okay, so Alex, I'm going to stop you right there because you did this same exact thing last week. You tried to jump to the power rankings without doing the Will Levis meme of the week.
Oh,
That's
man.
the second week in a row.
This is the second week.
Alex.
Oh,
Come on, man.
bro. You know, you know what
Foreshadowing.
he did? You know what he did? He kind of tumbled and rolled just like Will Levis did in this week's meme of the week.
Ian,
Someone roll the meme. I need my motivations right now.
Let's cut to an ad break.
No ad break.
Motivations with Will Levis.
it's gonna be the same one.
It's every time, just the same thing, just different clips. Anyway,
Man,
yeah, this week's meme with Will Levis meme of the week. Prayers up to this bald man, not
Bald
bald boy, bald man. Will Levis went tumbling out of bounds, just rolled right into him, just shattered that man's leg.
In all seriousness, what happened to the ball boy man is not good, and we do hope he gets better. We just have to meme Will Levis because of the stupid decision that brought him there.
100%. And shout out to his Spider-Man celebration. That was sad.
it was sick. Now I will say, we need to figure out. It is ball boy. It's not ball man. The ball
Correct,
boy
it's
is the
bald
title.
boy. Correct, it's bald boy, but that guy is 80 years old. That's a bald man right there. Even a bald grandpa.
Yes. So I get what you're saying with that, but in the general term, ball boy is like the title. It's not. It's like if you were to call. It's like when you call it like a flower girl, you don't say flower woman like at a wedding. It's like that's just kind of like in the title.
I
It
am
is a
well
ball
aware. I am well aware that bald boy is a title and a job position. I am well aware.
You know what else is a title? Being a baddie.
A baddie? That's right, guys. We're getting into this week's power rankings. There you go, Alex. Good job. For those of you who've never been with us before, every week we make our collective power rankings. And how those work are all three of us make our respective power rankings. And from there, we then average them all out to get our combined 32 power rankings, or 32 teams in the power rankings. Now, I have to say, normally, if there is a tie, which there often is, we discuss and we will then break through those ties. Last week, we had an all-time low in only 2 ties. And I am proud to announce that this is the first ever week where our power rankings have had no ties.
Wow, it's getting to that point in the season already.
I don't even think you guys understand like how difficult it is for that to not happen. With 32 teams and the math behind this, I won't talk about math, but basically I take the numbers that we give to each team and I add them up and then I put them from least to greatest. So basically you're getting a number between 1 and 96, and the odds of all 32 teams getting a random number between 1 and 96 and none of them getting the same number is crazy. But it finally happened. So, congratulations to us for our first somewhat coherent power rankings. So, the first thing we do every week is we get into our bottom 3 teams, the baddies. And first, for our honorable mention baddie, At number 18, I have the Arizona Cardinals. Now,
That's not.
Ooh.
now,
Ooh.
while this team is not actively down with the baddies yet, this week they were easily a bottom 3 performance. In Lambeau, the Arizona Cardinals absolutely took a beating to Jordan Love and the Packers, just like the last time we played them. Marvin Harrison went out with a concussion. We lost half our secondary. James Conner was hurt for a while, came back, left again. Matt Prater is still nowhere to be found. It was rough. It was really bad. Only one interception, and that was not because our defense was amazing. They just so happened to be in the right place at the right time. Bo Melton was going for a catch. He slipped, was intercepted. By the way, Bo Melton and Max Melton playing each other on opposite teams, that was cool. That was cool to see. They were Max Melton was guarding Bo. That was fun. It was rainy, it was slippery, and the Cardinals just choked. And the next couple weeks might be kind of rough. Thankfully, some lower end teams on the schedule, but also a very injured lineup. And it's going to be pretty rough the next couple weeks. So, congratulations, Cardinals, for being a honorary baddie this week, but you're not even good enough to be a real baddie. So,
Hey, shout out to the Cardinals though for snapping Xavier McKinney's INT streak.
This is true.
this is true. Instead, they just gave them 3 forced fumbles.
I
But
mean,
we take the wins.
you broke the streak.
This is true. They break the streak. All right, coming in as our first baddie at number 30, we have the Miami Dolphins. Ooh.
Hey, this was their bye week, right? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't really
Okay.
need to talk about them.
Yeah, that's nothing for me to say.
They're on the block. All right, next team.
Yeah, nothing to say about the Dolphins. You just suck. 31,
Yep.
the Cleveland Browns.
Deshaun Watson, what a guy.
What a guy.
Every
know.
game, it gets more and more true. He's a better person than he is football player.
Wow.
I saw people start saying that in week 2, and at first I was kind of like, that's a bit extreme. No, it's very much true.
No,
It's very, very much true.
Deshaun Watson in his last 26 third downs is 0 for 26. 0 for 26.
How?
You know how statistically improbable that is?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And the Browns are
being
going to ride or
0%.
die with this.
You know, I can't even tell what's worse. The fact that they are ride or dying when they literally have Jameis Winston on the bench, who is a solid, very nice backup to have, and he is he would be better than Watson. The fact they're
He
riding or
proved
dying,
last year.
what's worse?
Brissett proved that last year when he started off the season. Hey, but wasn't Nick Chubb supposed to make his debut game this week?
He is. I almost missed that, but yes, Nick Chubb is supposed to be debuting versus the Bengals this week. Honestly, it's exactly what they need right now. Something for that offense. He's not going to be up to par in his first game, but it's Nick Chubb. I mean, Nick Chubb is Nick Chubb. He's going to get up there. They lost Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
too,
and
so.
you lost Amari Cooper. So, nice going there. You are not going to be in a good spot until you ditch Deshaun Watson.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it.
And
All right.
at number 32, we have this week's ultra baddie back in their rightful place, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Whoa, we need to start sending them like trophies or something.
This is their second one, right? They had the first one, the first ultra baddie we awarded.
They were winless.
Yeah.
They
This
didn't
team
even
just
necessarily- Oh no, they played a bad game. Travis Etienne, bro. What? How do you have 3 carries for -1 yard? His longest rush was 1 yard. That's sad. Hey, shout out to Evan Ingram though. Shout out to Evan Ingram. 10 targets, 10 receptions, 102 yards.
honestly a pretty good game from. Genuine question, because I'm gonna be completely honest to the fans here. I completely missed this game because I way overslept. I actually missed the first 10 minutes of the 1 o'clock games. That's how much I slept. Why did he only have 3 carries? ETN. Were they running somewhere
He
else?
was not doing good. But yeah, Johnson was getting a lot of reps, and Tank Bigsby was also getting a lot of reps.
Tank Bigsby.
Maybe
Big
ETN.
Tank Bigsby fan.
Tank Bigsby is the GOAT. Well, he's not the GOAT. He's the running back GOAT.
Ah, yes, the running back goat, of course, because we
That's
all know who
famous.
the real goat is.
Yeah, of course.
Mitchell
Like,
Trubisky.
Yes, sir.
and Trubisky's better than the refs.
Trubisky throws flags on the refs.
Exactly.
He does.
This gives me another chance to redeem myself. I can make Jackson DeVille with Trevor Lawrence's hair as the baddie.
Yeah, the fans are waiting.
Yeah, you promised this weeks ago, bud.
I did, and I didn't want to do it last week because they escaped the baddies last week. But I'm gonna do it this week, and it's gonna
Oh,
be
but
actually
they're
on
so
it.
back.
I'm gonna make a baddies graphic. It's gonna be on the graphic.
Oh, you better. If you
We
want to
waiting
see
for it.
that, you should go follow us on Instagram. Footballers_anonymous. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
All right. Now with the bad out of the way, we can talk about the good. We have our top 12 teams. Starting off at number 12, just barely staying in the top 12, we got the Buffalo Bills with a very game against the Jets.
All right.
I have to preface, all of these power rankings were made before the Amari Cooper trade happened. So
Yes. So I was gonna say we're probably higher with the Amari Cooper trade, and
A little bit higher. Me personally, from last week to this week, not really much of my opinion's changed about the Bills.
okay. I know the box score was close, but I'm gonna just throw this out here real quick. I think this game goes like not crazy differently, but I think it's a lot less close if they don't get that Hail Mary before the half. I think that was a big momentum shift, and that's why the game was as close as it was, even though only 6 points were scored in the second half.
okay, but that was an incredible Hail Mary. That was awesome.
It was. I'm not discrediting the Hail Mary because that was a Rodgers is the one that'll hit the Hail Mary in that situation, and I was a little surprised, but I was just like, it's Rodgers. I'm not that surprised. But like I said, that Hail Mary doesn't get off. I mean, it's a 20-10 game going at half, and they scored 3 in the second half. Like, obviously I think they would have converted a little bit more, but I don't know.
Well, they also did have 2 missed field goals, and one of those coming off of a called back touchdown. So they just can't capitalize in the red zone.
The Jets.
We also had 2 missed field goals.
Yes, but the Jets, they in particular, I'm not going to lie, for the majority, especially if you look just at the midfield plays, I would argue that the Jets' offense looked better. But they could not capitalize in the end zone or in the red zone at all. It was ugly to watch, and I don't want to say sad because I don't really love the Jets, but like, I mean, it's like, you know that they could be a good offense, and they are. That run game was pretty crazy, but there was something weird going on.
Here's another thing I'll say about this game. I think this is the first game in NFL history where the refs were against both teams.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh my goodness! Like, what was it? It was like there was like a ton of penalties. I need like a total penalty count.
There was 22 accepted penalties.
Yeah, that's what I was like in
Oh
the
my
20s.
gosh.
I didn't know it was that
11
but
for each team.
11 for each team. Like,
Didn't they
and-
say something like they each got easily more than 100 yards off of penalties?
Yep.
More, yeah.
That's
More.
crazy.
And Rogers after the game too was like both teams had penalties that should not have been called. Like, and I honestly agree with that. Like, so there was questionable calls on both sides of it. Like, there was that
for
roughing
sure.
call on Rogers where he just tackled him, and then there was I don't even know. One more thing I do want to hit. our running game was actually good without James Cook, which is a nice thing to see. Davis is progressing very nicely. He's a young guy. I'm hoping we have a good 1-2 punch there.
It was surprising.
I'm
I will say, all week, I was telling people that this week we were going to have the repeat of the Cardinals Packers NFC Championship, where Aaron Rodgers threw that amazing Hail Mary to bring it into overtime and then lost because Larry Fitzgerald is the GOAT. I was so sure that was going to happen again, and then it didn't in the Cardinals game, and I was so confused. And then I realized it's because it happened in the Bills game. Once again, Aaron Rodgers threw an incredible Hail Mary. It almost looked exactly identical. And then still lost the game.
Same spot. It was honestly a similar position on the field to the Hail Mary too. But...
No, the Hail Mary was much better.
No, it was better, but in terms of where it was on the field, it was like the same spot.
Opposite sides.
Yeah, opposite sides, but it was the same like line.
Yeah, something about the Bills and Hail Marys.
Hate it.
We love to see it. At number 11, we have Ian. Don't
Listen.
say anything. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay?
Okay, listen, no glaze. Justin Fields did not have a great game. Okay? 14 for 24, 145 yards is not great, but he made up for it on the ground. 11 carries, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. The real player who actually played good this game was Najee Harris. Bet you forgot who that was.
I would, but I have him on
14
fantasy.
carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown. I don't even know who he is anymore.
He's got cinder blocks on his feet. The Steelers are looking at possibly starting Russell Wilson, which I think is insane.
Are they actually?
Yes.
Yeah, no, like
Yes,
if
I
you
agree.
like, they haven't made any public announcement, and it's not like official, but like he's like getting starting reps, and it's very likely that he starts versus the Jets, which I think is like, if Fields is 4-2 and is winning, I don't see why you do that, but
Justin Fields, you are my go, bro. You played perfect this game.
Stop.
Honestly, nothing you
Anyway.
did.
Whoa. No, he is not your GOAT. You take that back. Apologize to Mitchell Trubisky right now.
We're gonna get another apology video if you don't do it right now.
Apology part 2. Mitchell Trubisky. Where do I even begin?
No, we're not doing this. Okay, moving on to number 10. We have... Moving on to number 10. We have the Chicago Bears making their first top 12 appearance. Congratulations. And it is well deserved. Ian, I'm just going to let you take the floor here, and I won't cut you off this time.
Honestly, I don't have that much to say. I mean, we just clicked as an offense. The past 2 weeks have been great ego boosts for us that we definitely needed. Not quite yet. We're going to a really easy schedule coming off of the bye, which we had this week. But Caleb Williams, 6 incompletions, 23 for 29, 226 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception, which was kind of a he took blame for that immediately. After the game, he was getting interviewed. The first thing he said was that he needs to be better, and he can't allow picks like that. Swift somehow continuing to play good. Honestly, surprising. He had 17 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown of his own, one of the 5. But I really want to talk about this receiving real quick. We had a long snapper at tight end this week, and his name was Cole Kmet. He had 5 targets, 5 receptions, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns, along with just amazing snaps. That guy is probably the greatest long snapper of all time. Honestly, I might even go there. And then Keenan Allen also went perfect, 5 for 5, 41 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's finally arrived. Finally great to see Keenan Allen being productive. Love that. Rome Odunze, 2 for 2. DeAndre Swift, 4 for 4. DJ Moore, quiet game, 4 for 5, 20 yards. But, I mean, yeah, we really laid the hammer down on Jacksonville. Defense played amazing again. Will say, though, we were missing both Brisker and Stevenson going into the game, and Kyler Gordon got injured during the game, so that was really unfortunate. But, yeah, we rested up this week. We got a tough game against Commanders next week.
And at number 9, we have the Green Bay mother-loving Packers.
Carson, you want to take this one?
Yeah. Romeo. Where art thou, Romeo? He showed up on Sunday, I'll tell you that. Oh
It's in
my
the end
gosh.
zone.
In the end zone. Oh, Jordan Love absolutely stomped on this Arizona defense. He had a pretty good game, 22-32, 208 yards, only one interception, which I covered earlier was definitely not his fault. Josh Jacobs had a pretty good rushing game, 62 yards. This was a very well-balanced team. They forced so many turnovers. And anytime the Cardinals got momentum, they just stopped it. They did an incredible job. This is an electric team, and part of me also thinks they won because of the Cardinals' injury and possibly their lack of competence as a team. But I think with this performance, Jordan Love has definitely proven himself a little bit. And we definitely want to see how he goes against the Texans. I almost called them the Strouds against the Texans, but I think they're easily deserving of the number 9 spot, and honestly, I might put them higher.
The Call of Duty effect is already It's already happening.
You know
Sorry,
what's-
Kyler.
Here's an interesting fact about the game that we just had here. The Christian Watson this past week had more touchdowns than Deshaun Watson.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah. So I know you love the Packers. I know both of you love the Packers, actually. I'm actually the only one here that doesn't despise the Packers. I think they're playing pretty good football. I actually think they should be higher. I think there's a little bias against them. But
Jordan Love
No,
is still super overrated.
I do think he's overrated, but I don't think
he's like
as overrated
D'Amico
as-
Ryan's level
yeah,
good, but he's
obviously not.
definitely a solid quarterback.
He is a good quarterback. You can't deny it's a good quarterback. And that the team in general is very balanced and they have a lot of pieces and they don't have a very blatant weakness besides kicker, but we have a
Brandon
kicker.
McManus.
Yeah, Brandon McManus. All right. Yeah, whatever. But like the team is very good. And I think when they were winning with Malik Willis, it showed that. And Jordan Love's starting to find his stride a little bit, even though he had that play versus the Rams last week. But, you know.
Yeah, that was bad. But it's okay. At number 8, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers really put the nail in the coffin against the Saints.
I will
fourth
say,
quarter of offense was just brutal.
I will say that about this game. Until the final 5 minutes, it was a 10-point game, and then they just took it away in that final time. And but honestly, Spencer Rattler played pretty good for the Saints. But Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield just continues to be honestly that guy. 24 for 36, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns. But he did have 3 picks. He had 3 picks,
Yeah,
which is kind of
Played a
surprising.
little bit of a Favre game.
it is a Brett Favre game. You're right.
That is a Brett Favre game. He had a lot of production though, which is good. The 3 picks. He hasn't been a big interception he's had interceptions this year, but like it's not been like this game, but they still won, so you know. I do want to know, even though this isn't the Buccaneers, I think the score line of the Saints scoring all of their points in the second quarter is just showing how big of a second quarter merchant that offense is. No, but 27 points in one quarter and then 0 and the rest is just funny to me.
Yeah.
The Bucks looked good though.
Yeah, shout out to
it's good
Chris
look good.
Godwin. Chris Godwin, 11 for 13, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carried one of my fantasy teams this week. Put up a lot of points for me. So thank you, Chris Godwin.
Thank you.
They're back. Tucker as well. He had 136 yards and a touchdown. a very good running game. They have Bucky Irving over there as well with 81 yards on 14 attempts. Very nice running game over there. I'm very surprised. I'm kind of surprised about it.
Yeah, shout out Sean Tucker. That was a good performance from him.
It's been a very strong running game from a team I didn't expect to have a strong running game.
All right, coming in at number 7, we have the Tostitos team themselves, the Washington Commanders. This game was really good, and we can talk about the Ravens when they come up because obviously they're going to be higher. But I mean, this is still a moral victory for the Commanders. If I were them, I wouldn't even be too upset with this game.
No, not at all. I mean, they kept it close to the very end. They could have won. They were in the game the entire time. They were just one. They're pretty much just one step behind for most of the game, and that's just kind of where it kind of lied. But like, they were in this game. Like, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, their running game didn't really get going. Eckler had 9 attempts and only 21 yards. McNichols had 9 yards and 2 carries. Terry McLaurin actually had a rush, but I mean, obviously, the big thing is the passing game. The passing game was great. Jaden Daniels 24 for 35, 269, and 2 touchdowns. And Zach Ertz had himself quite a game, as well as Terry McLaurin getting 2 touchdowns. So,
Speaking of receiving, shout out to Luke McCaffrey again. He continues to be perfect when the ball's thrown his way. Every time Jaden Daniels has thrown the ball to Luke McCaffrey, it's been a completion.
is it 11 now?
Yeah, I believe it's 11. It's either 11 or 12.
Because why not? Once I'm free of one McCaffrey, another shows. I mean, congratulations, man. It's good to see. It's very good to see.
Honestly, the only thing that was like the big issue was just that the defense, and I mean, I'm not discrediting them, but like they just could not slow Baltimore down enough for Washington to get back in the game. They needed like one stop, and the Ravens were just always one step ahead, which was kind of just where it came down to. They were good in the beginning of the game. They just couldn't slow them down they slowed them down, but they barely couldn't do enough in the end, and the offense just had a slower start.
At number 6, we have the Atlanta Falcons. I'm a little surprised they didn't land top 5, actually, but hey, they're hosting a Super Bowl now. That's pretty cool.
I'll say about the Falcons, this game was sneakily close to the end, to the fourth quarter. It was only an 8-point game going into the fourth quarter, and like in the second quarter, it was only a 5-point game at halftime. Panthers were keeping up with them, but the defense did clutch up on the end, and the offense just did its thing.
It did look a little scary there for a while.
I do want to note that they actually finally got their running game up to standard in this game. Algier had 105 yards and a touchdown and 18 attempts. Bijan had 15 attempts, 95 and 2 touchdowns. Both their backs looking very nice. Obviously, as we expected.
Bijan gave up a few weeks of good football so that we could make like a 3-second appearance on season 4 of Outer Banks. but good for him, I guess. That acting career is taking off apparently.
So I don't watch Outer Banks. What was like what happened in that scene?
He was standing on the edge of a boat. You had the front camera of him coming up on the boat, and then siding over the side of his face as he turned his head. That was it.
He turns so he looked at the camera.
Pretty much.
Nice.
And that
Good
was
for you, Bijan. Good for you, Bijan.
Good for you, Bijan.
Great exposure right there.
That's stat line of the week material right there. 1 for
3
1.
seconds of screen time.
1 for 1, 3 seconds of screen time. All right, coming in at number 5, we got the Houston Texans. The Texans. You're shaking your head. Alex, why are you shaking your head?
Overrated.
Didn't
They did have
you?
a good game this week, but listen, all I'm saying is it was a 7-point game at halftime.
How did that turn out for them?
Obviously, they blew them out, but it's the Patriots.
It's the Drake May Patriots. Joe Mixon finally decided to show up. 102 yards, 1 touchdown. That was good. He's kind of been missing from that offense for a little while.
He was
that was
injured.
a bright spot. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he was missing because he was injured. So was
Yeah.
Okay,
Damian Pierce.
fine. Sorry.
Hey.
I don't know why I said sort of. He was missing from that offense.
They were putting a wanted missing poster. Have you seen our running back?
We don't know where he is. He just up and left.
He was in a last seen in a Bengals jersey.
No.
Just reminded me of the whole thing that happened with him in the neighborhood.
Shout out Davis Mills. I'm surprised he's still on the Texans. He went 0 for 1. Yeah, that's it. He went 0 for 1.
I'm confused. When did he play?
He went in at like the very end of the game.
I've literally never heard of you, Davis Mills, but congrats, I guess.
You've never heard of Davis
Whoa.
Mills?
Are you a casual?
He was the quarterback before Stroud. He's the guy with the long neck.
Oh my gosh, wait, he's still here? Oh, that's the
Yes.
same one?
He's been on the
Yes.
Texans since Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie,
No,
Loki
yeah.
thought he was retired.
So casual behavior over here.
Sorry.
Wait.
Sorry,
Ladies and
guys.
gentlemen, we have our casual of the week.
I'm a
Justin-
casual of the week.
Just invalidated all of our credibility.
I literally did. Hold on. I'm sorry. I have invalidated all our credibility and all of our honorship.
All of our honorship. You ruined it.
Apology part 2.
This is
Yeah,
part
go ahead.
3, Alex.
It's
Part 3, my fault, chat.
Listen, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so coming in at number 4, we got the Baltimore Ravens. They were looking marvelous.
Okay, you're
Marvelous.
done.
The King showed up.
The king did show up.
King Henry. It was a good game for him. This was such an exciting game to watch. This was entertaining football.
It was
Ladies
indeed. It
and
was
gentlemen,
indeed.
Mark Andrews had a touchdown in 2024.
Mark Andrews.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the touchdown. I watched it live. Honestly, it was a dot from Lamar too. Like he zinged that right into the end zone, and Mark Andrews went up and got it. But yes, he had a touchdown in 2024. I didn't think his legs worked anymore or something. I didn't think he was capable of that, but apparently he is.
Go him.
Zay Flowers was 9 for 9, 132 yards. Is that a career game for him?
I'm not
It's
sure.
up there. I don't think it's a career game, but it's definitely up there. I can go check.
It's up there for sure.
I'll kind of go look through them if you want to keep going on the.
Yeah,
other
okay.
things.
So this was a pretty good game for the Ravens. Coming in at number 3 with one of the best games we've seen this week. But what did it cost? The Detroit Lions, who are now without Aiden Hutchinson.
They just lost a defensive player of the year.
Prayers up.
But they were toying with the Cowboys in this game.
On Jerry Jones's 82nd birthday, 83rd or 82nd.
Something old.
Something
Something like
real
that.
old.
He's old. It was his birthday.
This game was genuinely like a mockery of the Cowboys as a franchise.
It was really funny.
The Lions said America's team who? The Lions are America's team. Let's be real.
The Lions are America's team. Can we just
They
like
are.
Real
can we
Cinderella
just start
story.
that?
We love
Honestly.
them. I don't know very many people that dislike the Lions, and I don't understand how people dislike the Lions.
My team's in the North, and I love watching the Lions.
The Lions
Yeah.
are great. If
We
the
love the
Lions beat
Lions.
us in the Super Bowl, I would be upset, but like that if any team was to beat us in the Super Bowl, I would want the Lions to beat us in the Super Bowl.
Bills have to get past the Chiefs first.
Well, in a hypothetical sense. Speaking of the Chiefs,
They are at number 2.
Wow, it was
Kansas
bye
City
week.
Chiefs at number 2 on the bye week.
Zay Flowers did have a career game.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyways, the Chiefs have a Super Bowl rematch. Dang it. I'm out of my groove. Okay. Me. Will Levis. Okay. So.
Cut ad break.
May your team make haste, and your dip bring out the best taste. Num num.
The Chiefs have a Super Bowl rematch this week, so that'll be exciting to watch. No, go
I
ahead.
do want to know, they have, with this game coming up, they will have played 5 times in the past 6 years, including Super Bowls, obviously, which it doesn't really make the game exciting when you're only supposed to play like 2 times in 6 years. But
I was ready for you to say, Zay Flowers had a career game.
he did have a career game. I don't know if that is. I don't know if that's already in there somewhere. I've said that
Oh,
like
it
4
is.
different times, but
It's every single time.
I'm gonna say Zay Flowers has had a career game about 5 times this podcast, and you're just gonna have to listen to it.
Wait, did Save Flowers have a career game?
He did. No, I'm being serious
Okay,
about
cool.
that. He
So
had a
it's-
career game.
So I was correct in my assessment. Sweet.
Speaking
Okay.
of you,
So
Zay Flowers had a career game.
Dude,
the
thanks for replying to that question.
the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, I tried to bring it back, but there's nothing to talk about.
No, it was their bye week.
And at number 1, we have another team on the bye. Ian, do you want to do this one?
Yeah, it's the Minnesota Vikings, and with that, the entire NFC North was in our top 10.
Best division in football right there.
Best division in football right there. Fun fact, the biggest point difference. All 4 of our teams are leading in point differential. So yeah,
Across the NFL.
against the NFL, yeah.
The teams in the NFC North are the 4 highest point differentials in the NFL.
Yep. And we combined for, I believe it's plus 200. Insane.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. The Vikings were on the bye this week. It wasn't a great week for them because everybody won. But they're going to be coming out shooting. Who do they play this week?
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit. Oh, that's right. Duh. So now with that, we have our 3 games of the week. Every week, we pick 3 games that we think are the most valuable to watch for the more casual fans like myself, apparently. So our first game of the week is Baltimore at Tampa Bay. These are some pretty explosive offenses. They've got some pretty different play styles. It's a different matchup. We don't see this one too often. I just think it'll be a fun game. It'll be an offensive shootout. Ian, why are you laughing?
No reason.
And speaking of the Ravens, did you know that Zay Flowers had a career game this week? Moving on to our second game. Ian, why don't you take this one?
Yes. The NFC North. Big matchup here. Minnesota's looking to continue their streak, and Detroit's looking to take that right away. It's going to be a great matchup over there in Minnesota, honestly. Go Lions.
And for our last game of the week, they're making me say this because I don't like one of these teams and they don't like the other one. It's Houston at Green Bay, which I will admit is a good game, and we'll see which of us is actually right about the other team being a fraud. But
What's frauds?
Boo! I didn't say either of these teams are frauds.
Well,
Boo!
Green Bay's a
Boo!
no, Houston's a fraud.
Boo!
Well,
They're
Green Bay's
not
a fraud.
frauds. Boo!
Oh, Houston's a fraud. All right.
Jordan Love is a fraud.
Boo!
You guys are both like it. Shout out Mitch Trubisky.
Speaking of interruptions, Zay Flowers had a career game.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So Houston at Green Bay is our last game of the week. It's actually going to be a decently interesting QB duel between CJ Stroud and Jordan Love. Do your job and recap the power rankings.
That's crazy.
Well, I would have recapped the power rankings if you hadn't rushed to the games of the week before I could finish, Alex.
He's just low-key a hater.
You know what I didn't skip, though? Zay Flowers having a career game. All right, you can recap now.
All right, so to recap, we have at 32 the Jags, at 31 Deshaun Watson, at 30 the Dolphins, at 29 the Titans, who should be renamed the Waterboys, at 28 the Raiders. 27, the Panthers. 26, the Drake May Patriots. 25, the Rams. 24, the Colts. 23, the Giants. 22, the Cowboys. 21, the Broncos. 20, the Seahawks. 19, the Jets. 18, the Cardinals. 17, the Niners. 16, the Eagles. 15, the Bengals. 14, the Saints. 13, the Chargers. 12, the Bills. 11, the Steelers. 10, the Bears. 9, the Packers. 8, the Bucks. 7, the Commanders and the Tostitos. 6, the Falcons. 5, the Texans. 4, the Ravens and Zay Flowers, who had a career game. 3, the Lions. 2, the Chiefs. And 1, the Vikings. So there you go. There are our power rankings. So that is our episode. Shout out to Mitchell Trubisky and to Zay Flowers, who had a career game. Congratulations to you.
Oh my God! Wait, we didn't mention Zay Flowers had a career game.
Oh my gosh, we forgot. Zay Flowers had a career game.
I think Zay Flowers was motivated this week.
He must have been.
His quarterback was dreamy.
Thank you so much for joining us this week to hear us talk about Week 6 of the NFL. Make sure to tune in next week on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts to hear us talk about Week 7. Be sure to follow our socials at FBA Pod on TikTok and at footballers_anonymous on Instagram. There you will be able to see some exclusive content like Jackson DeVille with Trevor Lawrence hair. Alex, everyone is waiting for that. You have fans. Everyone is depending on you.
Everyone and their mothers especially.
I won't let Mitchell Trubisky down.
So be sure to give us a follow there. Download our episodes. Comment. Tell us what you think. Not a lot of people were hating on us this week, and that's a bit of a problem. So we want to hear your feedback, positive and negative. Be sure to donate to the Red Cross to help out with hurricane release. redcross.org/NFL. It takes 2 minutes. You can be cool like Jackson DeVille with Trevor Lawrence hair and Zay Flowers, who had a career game. And
be more like Mitchell David Trubisky.
Middle name drop.
Ooh, did you look that up?
Yeah.
He did.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you guys next week. We look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you on the other side of Week 7.